Hey everybody, John from Blair Air, here to share something that it makes my life a lot easier. When I'm out flying, one of the things I've been trying to do over the last year or so is find a way to pack lighter. Now, it's not like I go on a long, ridiculously long hikes up mountainsides, or down through Yellowstone National Park or anything else, but still, if you pack lighter, it's not just carrying the weight, it's actually getting set up, packing up. The whole operation gets easier if you can kind of condense your packing into a smaller package. And here's one I'm going to show you. I've got a tale of two bags here. These are both DJI products, and both come in what appears to be the same bag now, although the one on the left doesn't sit quite as flat as the one on the right. For some known reasons and some just probably wear and tear. Okay, so show you what I got here. This is the new Air 3, and they gave you the same bag as the Mavic 3 Pro, which I was very happy about because I love that bag. And let me just pull this open without tipping it over. Okay, working one-handed here because I don't have a good setup for my phone. Now, here's the Air 3 setup. I was amazed with how much lighter this ended up being without the RC Pro, with lighter batteries, a lighter drone, blah blah blah. Anyway, everything came out lighter. You can see how I do the tripod. I just slip one leg over in between the bag here and the front cover for it, and that just holds the tripod, the small tripod I have that actually opens up to full height. It's a carbon fiber. It weighs 1.1 pounds, and it's quite light. And this is the extension rod for it that makes it, come up full height. Alright, so now let me show you how this works. Okay, sorry for the pause there. So anyway, we've got the RC2 here. Fits quite comfortably. We've got the extension rod, as I said, for my tripod because it comes up. It's about 30 inches high, and this gives it another 30 inches extension. It's not super stable, like in a high wind, but it's fine for my purposes. It holds the camera and, I shouldn't say my phone, and it holds a phone gimbal with no issues. Anyway, one of the tricks I do is I've got two batteries in here. I'm going to add one more to that. I like to have 4 batteries. I've got a strap in here. This is my strap for the RC2. But this is the trick here I want to show you. If you don't like constantly taking off the joysticks, and I hate doing that, they're small, they're threaded very small, and then you have to fit them in the back here and kind of force them in those slots. I mean, they work okay, but taking them on and off all the time is a bit of a pain, causes wear and tear. You could potentially drop one in grass and then be hunting all over creation for it. And so, not taking them off is a big plus. I'm going to show you how you pull this off. You keep them on, and you can see how there's a gap to the left of the batteries there. Well, if this goes in, right, and then, I can't really do it. No, I guess I can do it one hand. The two joysticks stay to the left, go right down in that little spot right there. So they'll sit to the left of those batteries. You don't have to take them off. That's the bottom line. Drone fits in here. Now with the Air 3, they did something a little bit different than with Mavic 3. There's, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try and turn on my flash. I don't think I can while I can't turn it on while I'm live. But anyway, there is a foam pad in here. I'll just take it out and show it to you. That's the easiest way to do this. So there you go. There's a fitted foam pad that essentially fits the drone in and gives it a little kind of a cradle to sit in, and it sits in right like that. So there's your kind of a little padding for the drone on its front. We do not have that on the Big Brother, and I'll show you how this setup works. So this is the same bag. Like I said, it doesn't sit quite as flat because it's just been stretched around a bit more, I guess. But anyway, so the setting here is a little bit different. You have to do the drone backwards in here, and you have to have it facing, so the top of the drone is facing you here, like this. And so the drone goes in and actually makes it in there. It's kind of a miracle that it fits in this same case, but you can see that the camera module sticks way off. And so because the case is angled like this, the back is taller than the front, that's where the camera module sits, in the back, and then the lower part of the drone, the top corner of the drone here, sits towards the front of the bag like that. So it just kind of makes it. With the Air 3 you do it sideways, so it's a little bit different. Anyway, so here's another strap that I've got. I'd like to have a one hook strap and mount it to the back, but that's another story. In here, I currently have my DJI mic, but this is interchangeable. Whichever one I'm taking, I'll put the mic in, and it just sits right above the batteries, like that. And we got RC Pro in here, which is a bit bigger, a bit heavier. And in this case, I can leave the sticks on, but it's really pushing it. So I kind of have to take them off if I don't want to put force on them and cause an issue. I don't want to break the RC Pro in the interest of not taking the sticks off. It's not the end of the world, but I would really like to find a way to do that. So far, not so much. But anyway, so that's it. That's how I pack to get the lightest packing. My tripod goes under the front, under the front flap, and just gets held in place like that by one of its legs. And then the extension sits right along the side like this and just sits in there like that. And that's interchangeable. That and the DJI mic just move whichever bag I'm with. If I'm taking both, then just rides with whichever one it's happened to be in. Lastly, I have a landing pad. I don't typically use landing pads. I hand catch most of the time, but sometimes you're not in a great spot. Ooh, look, this is drone landing pad. That's handy, because if it didn't say that, I don't know, man, you'd never figure out what this thing was. And it came with an Insta360 with the sphere, and it's a really tightly packable. It's a good little landing pad. I like it. Not too big. And you can see I've got a filter in there, and that's a ND2000 filter, ND1000 filter I'm using for long exposures. But there's this slot back here, right, which you can use this to ride on a baggage cart in the airport if you're taking it with you traveling. But the landing pad will go right in that back. There's an actual pouch back there, so the landing pad goes in there, and that's it. That's how to pack light and still have everything that you need. Now, of course, everybody has different requirements what you take with you. You might take a full-size camera with you, and etc., etc. But for me, this is what works, and I'm going to stick with it. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. Alright, hope you got something from that, and I'll see you guys on another Air 3 video, because there'll be a couple of them coming up in the next week. Thanks, everybody.